Negative spaces, there's a never moment. My critical corners part 2, it has happened. Oh, it actually has happened. I'm gonna get most people on runs. That is a cheeky... Oh my lord! Oh my! Half a second gap for Razin. He might get closer. Never mind. Razin's got a lot of people. Got a lot of people to fight for. Is this 4 wide? 4 wide for a second does not go into 1. Oh my! Down the outside. Takes a wider line than he wants. And they make contact! Josh is out of the race! A little weaving moment. I think one of them, I couldn't tell who, had a little bit of rear end. I think it's quite clear who's got the quicker car between the two of them. Dylan's making Josh think about it the entire way up the hill. He's actually gonna pull off the move. That is an impressive move up the hill. Welcome back, as if we haven't been live this entire time. For 1 hour and 51 minutes, I'm not out-fooling anyone, am I? We've been live for 1 hour and 51 minutes. But if you're not and you're watching a YouTube VOD and everything, welcome to NSL. It's the serious business. This is where the main action takes place. The league racing for our community goes down and things happen. And I get to waffle for 2 and a bit hours or so. Well, I don't know. I can't time myself. But either way, it's in Brazil. It's a fan favourite. Most of the information I said is more or less legit. Let's give it some more info on the track and all the good stuff. It's a nice track. It's a go-karty vibe. There's a lot of speed. There's a lot of time to think about it. Slash there isn't. It's all pretty quick and hitting at you immediately. 36 laps. I actually have the times from last year's poll, which is quite useful to have. Last year isn't last year. It was literally a couple months ago. It was a 1:07.8. I'm going to keep an eye and see if that's anywhere near matched, beaten. We'll find out. Tyres are all the same. The usual business. There's nothing else to say. Time to waffle with a face, which is this one. It's the same one you saw earlier, but it's different. It's not the same. Let's cook and open the lobby and start the things. This is a serious business. If anyone's interested and watching along with this, you should stick here and not leave, because it's beautiful scenes. Let's go into the lobby. Sort them all out. How many races left? Don't remind me. Do you want a reminder? I can give you a reminder how many races left, you know. I'm there. I'm there. To be fair, we'll actually give you a reminder. I haven't shown the calendar yet, so why not? Only 3 more to go. 2 more rounds after this one. Brazil today, Qatar next week, and Abu Dhabi with a sprint involved as well, just to mix up the piece and all the good dives. The last one we've got. The championships are all sealed up, but we'll show you the standings of that later on when we're closest to getting everyone in. In the meantime, I have to invite people into the session, because that's sometimes important. Let me go for the list and make sure everyone's checked in. Oh, not everyone's checked in. Everyone who I need to be inviting from the check-in is in. PC people, I'll try and get your invites first because I know you can't join yourself. Xbox people, do your business. Who we've got? F4 Kid's got an invite. Kieran is on an Xbox, so he's fine. Rowlick, his name is on this list somewhere. Boom. Wonderful stuff. Pooch, let me hop on. Listen. Nah. Anyways, sorry, okay. Where did I get to? Did I do Josh's name? I don't know if I did. So in that case, you can have an invite anyways. Why not? Stevie's on the Xbox, Ethan's on Thingy, Pooch needs an invite if he's on. I don't know if he is yet, considering what he's just said, so I'll wait a little bit longer for that one. Harry's on, Killer's on PC. Who else do I need invites for? Ice needs to join. I don't have them added, though. Josh, Raul, do you know if... I mean, assuming Raul, you'll have him, so could you invite him, maybe? To help out? Save me some time. That'd be good. It's me and my final race. Yeah, it's not possible. That's actually not allowed, Peach, for reasons. You're contracted for about 3 years. Thank you, Valera. I'll take it. You caught me off guard saying my name, but really just talking about Kira. Ah, yeah, forgot. Sorry, my bad. You are only known as Kisser. I'm kidding. Multiple names in the chat are an interesting art to dealing with. We try our best. Okay, I think the only ones that are missing then, if 10... Who have we got? Roseboy was joining late, I believe. Tatar! Ah, I knew I was missing a name. Knew I was missing one. Let's go. Ice is in. Nice. Good job. Okay, so we're just missing... Is Brian actually taking part? Brian's actually taking part. Damn. For ease of use, I shall not add myself. That's the wrong name. I'm going to add Ice for later, because... Well, that'll be useful when we actually need to do it for future events, and then Kizzle and the rest will join. Alright, not bad. We're only missing a couple. Vehicles left to go in the thing. Not bad. And one has... Brian has decided last second he's not staying in the session. Good. absolutely phenomenal stuff, but I respect it. Haven't driven, sorry, since last NSL. I mean, it didn't really seem like you hadn't driven for a while before, so it's fine. Good. Actually gonna throw something at Discord. Try and chill. It will eventually nice you soon, I hope. At least I mean, I hope for you anyways. Cross fingers and thumbs and stuff. This is awkward hands. Don't know what I'm doing. Fine is grabbing a setup. He has to be speedily quick, or else it's not going to be in time. You know what's going to be in time? Epic music thrown at you at the last second for absolutely no reason. That was too aggressive. Anyways, let's try the novel. Let me go through the standings and show you what's on the boards since we've last been around. The top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. We'll go for it first. We've sealed all the titles, as I said earlier. Josh has wrapped up the Drivers' Championship. His first, after 3 attempts. He'd probably be wishing he had one earlier on, but he's finally got it cut up. We've so far got 383 points to his name. 256, a long way away, is the F1 kid and the Williams and Ethan in third place, who still can catch him. We'll see what those two actually obviously do. Can I be bronze? You have to finish third for that. I mean, it's not guaranteed anywhere else yet. Brownlee in P4, Sasso in 5th, GB in 6th, and then a bit of a gap slowing down after pitch. But Lewis, Harry, and Ron in a P10. And then obviously for the teams, that switches around quite often, especially for the bottom 5. The top 5 stayed pretty much the same. AlphaTauri, again, as I said, have won that with him, Josh and Raul. Ferrari in 2nd place, a little bit of a gap to Aston Martin, who could possibly be caught by Williams, maybe, who have overtaken Red Bull after the driver switched from Red Bull to Williams. But after that is where it's close. McLaren have held 6th for a bit. They was on the bottom of the board at some point. Alfa Romeo obviously at last right now. Haas have been last. Every team in the bottom 5 has been last literally 2 to 3 rounds ago at the most. Like, it's very, very close between them all. 24, 30, 30, 37, and 51. So we'll see if that opens up. We'll see if anyone else grabs any more points to keep that positions changed. And who gets the best of the rest, I guess, out of the bottom 5. We have absolutely no clue. We don't know. We don't know. We'll find. In the meantime, we can finally double check. Make sure the wonderful people are actually in the session. And do a beautiful transition to the other music. There's no need for it. Right, who do we need in? F1 Kid, is he in the session? He is. Boom. Kieran's in the session. Boom. Josh, yeah. GB, yes. Ethan, this is a register for some reason. I don't know why. Ethan's in the session. Pooch is one that we don't need to get in. That's rude. Need to get in the session. I just said we don't need to have Pooch. Apparently that's not allowed. Where is his name for the week? He's not on the list yet. Alright, we'll go get his name soon. We'll carry on. Harry is in the session. Beautiful stuff. We have Kizzo joining in eventually. Kizzo is already in. Beautiful. Rosberg is going to be hopping in late, obviously. Dylan's in. Tar's in. Bine is not in yet. So we're missing Pooch, Rosberg, Bine, and that's it? That is it. And Bine's back. So Pooch and Rosberg left. Not too bad at all. We'll get the rest shortly. If there's rain because of the suspension didn't occur... No, that's not how it works. I'm double checking all the rules are the same, just in case I accidentally bottled an F1 Force cockpit camera. I'd love to do one day, but it's fine. Quick shit time. Dylan, have you eaten? Is dinner being taken care of? Or, like, is that gonna be an issue? I hope it has. Do we get you for the full race this time? Alright. We are good to go. Everything is on, working in normal condition. Safety car from... Wait, hang on. Hold on. Why is everything off? It's on normal... Look, it's on 50%. Why is it not letting me... Okay, now I can do it. Good, great. Alright, sure. Put that on normal. I don't know why it just refused to let me have the setting, despite the fact it's... I'm telling you. And rant to Cody's quickly, briefly. I need to do it. Every time I pull up the loaded settings in a lobby, it gives me completely random settings. It never keeps them. Please keep the ones I set and saved. Thank you. Anyways, back to the thing is we're now getting ready to go, as it's now 8 PM. I can shout and tell the people to ready up. That's the last time I'm pausing the music. It has to happen. Whew. We're good, we're good. I think. Possibly. Right, let's get involved. Exclamation mark. Why am I saying exclamation mark? I don't know. There's no exclamation mark ready command in my Twitch or anything. The ready command is coming up. If you're in the stream, you can hear me, you can get readied up. If you're in the Discord, you're going to get it coming soon. One lobby, no stress, other than one a quali ban, I believe, for GB, so it's fine. If Pooch ain't in time, and Pooch ain't in time, the game's the game. Not gonna get in black rims because insurance said, really? Your insurance is doing you dirty, man. That's harsh. Damn, that's pain. That's pain. Insurance is... Why? I don't know. Why? Why are they being paid? Right, anyways. Odd times. If Pooch can get in before everyone else readies up, that is nice. Or are you hoping everyone else readies up really, really slowly? He said. Too late to sign up. Unfortunately, yeah, the check-in closes at 7:30 or 30 minutes ago, depending if you're in different time zones. Just so we don't have anyone joining too late and organising stuff. But any time in the future for the next races, you're more than welcome to hop in. Don't worry. Yeah, if you want to hop in next time, go for it. Nah, we'll allow... Hang on. That's a pause. We'll allow that from Pooch. I want that to be absolutely immortalised in wax. You know what? I'm going to go full screen so even a YouTube VOD can see exactly what this man said. I need to make sure that is seen. Okay, for the last time, I'm going to stop restarting the It's time to go. Pooch is Brazilian! Pooch is a Brazilian man! Oh, the game's the game. Do not pit. That's too far. Don't make me send for your vest. My vest is literally invisible. You can't cook. You can't do nothing. You can't see it. We're safe. Don't make him pit it. Don't make him do it. Alright. Waffle, at least for the pre-race, is done. We can stop. Let's get into the proper main session and have some action take place. I have absolutely no clue when it's going to go down or whatever's going to move or anything. It's not raining in qualifying, which is sad. I'm going to switch my audio, and the chat is going to briefly tell me in about 2 seconds that there's a lot of rain torrentially hopping through, and it's going to be a great time. I really hope it is. I really hope there's rain. So chat, do enjoy the screaming / the sigh of relief from the drivers that are actually in the chat telling me. Please. 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 Are we still waiting for it to hop in? Damn, we're still waiting. Damn, I thought we'd be allowed in by this point. Okay. Well, that's just boring. There's no need for that. Ah, oh, God, it is good. I wanted a bit of rain. Alright, fine. We're gonna have to deal with normal strategy. I can work with that. There's fun strategies around here, but I want to see some water on the racetrack, man. Just a smidge. Right then, in that case anyways, we're going to be ready and good to go. I think the only person penalties-wise that we have to chill or worry about things happening is going to be GB, who's just got a quali ban. Otherwise, everyone else, as I was trying to see a car go out in the garage, but it's just removed me access of seeing that. Eventually, can I see it? Is that allowed? It's an AlphaTauri of one of them. There it is. It is Josh. Early on the doors. That's how it is. Yes, Finn. May I help you, sir? May I help you? What is the information you're trying to give me today? Yeah, God ain't great in his eyes. Listen, I'm trying to see some water, and there's no... Like, just come on. 6 Team Season Arsenal players. I've got 4 of them. I hope you get duplicates of the rest, so you can't get the other 2. That's mean of me. No need for that. No need, but it's fine. Right. We move. Let's talk about the season so far. You know what? Let's give you a rundown. We can chill and like waffle about random stats now, because there's no immediate title fight to go on for. There's still positions to go for. I'm sure in like Ferrari are still going to want to try and keep second place in the constructors, and people are still going to be trying to get second in the drivers. So it's nothing to be totally ignored, but there's a couple things I can have a look at. Pole position records this season is one I want to have a look at. We've only had 3 different pole sitters as far as I know, of Razin, Josh, and F1 Kid. It would be nice to see a change purely for variety's sake in my side, but I'm just here for entertaining action. I'm not bothered who gets it. Entertainment, though, would be good to see someone get close and possibly steal the position. But Josh has been uber consistent on his poles. He's had how many pole positions? He's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the 14, 15 races, if we can count properly. 7 out of 15 is not too shabby. It's a pretty decent record entirely. We'll see if we can improve on that one again. The last season pole time, as I said, was a 7.862, if I remember the decibels correctly. I have absolutely no clue if that's going to be matched or beaten by anyone today. Obviously, we've got a previous champion in Dylan turning up. Josh's current champion, F1 Kid, is here, and past previous champion again. 3 on the grid at one time is not too bad. And I actually want to check how many race winners do we have on the grid today. That, I think we have plenty of it. For that, I'm going to have to get up the all-time season records for those actions. Saka, Saliba, Ben Brown. Damn! Ben Brown. Ben Brown, alright. Okay. For 2 seconds, I was like, who? I see your plays. I see your plays. This has so far been a nice, smoothish lap. I mean, we haven't had to comment on any massive moments from Josh at the moment. So it could be standard action as he wraps his car around across the line. This is going to be beating... I'm hoping someone beats the time that we had last season so it shows there's some massive improvement and people have to step up. We already have beaten last season's pole time, which either means everyone bottled last time around and didn't get the proper lap in, or otherwise. Apparently, we've got leader gap on. That's not what we want. A 7.806. Fine has decided he doesn't want to... Fine has crashed. That is not even a... If we get Dylan's on board, that's not... Okay. Like, I'm not sure how he's done that, as Dylan goes and gets second place with a 7.860. Very close. I thought it was starting a lap, which would have been a bit unideal, because he'd had to take the line that had a bind on it. But a DNF in quali? That way round is interesting, as F1 Kid has invalidated his last lap run, and I assume will be yawning mid-sentence, apparently. Setting themselves up to go for a never attempt. I'm not sure when they invalidated it. It must have been fairly late, because they haven't had enough time to regen all their batteries. So they was halfway through the lap, I want to say, before they had to bail out and try again. In which case, we'll stay on board and see what they can do with. So far, 3 times on the board anyways. 7.80, 7.86, and a 9.5 from Kizzo to put the top 3, but no one else has either come out of the pitch yet or set a proper time. Future Stars, Icon Jordan, Team of the Year Icon, Frank's, man said Frank Spare Ribs. Spare Ribs. PlayStation controller is different. Are you driving on your PlayStation? No wonder it's having crazy. Okay, right. I see how it is. Well, unfortunately, man, you can't take part in any of it. Like, that's it, you're done. Like, you have to stay on what you're on, so... Mine might become a menace. Please don't become a menace, that'd be scary. F1 Kid is also quite worried probably about his battery because he doesn't have any left. This is the risk of bottoming your lap, which I assume he must have bottled it like here before. That's the only way you can have that low battery. He's still got a purple sector, I stand corrected. It's the only way you can still have that low battery and start another lap and want to go again. Fair enough. DRS is going to get enabled. Got a tiny bit of a slipstream from an Aston Martin. Not going to be too much, but he does steal as much as he can. And on a second run on the first tyre, he's got an 8108, I should say. Not too bad. Kieran going second time on the board as well with a 9854. Who else is going to go across the board? I think that's the Mercedes of Harry's starting lap. We can sit on board with him for a little bit. Skillish. I mean, I'm confused why you chose the PlayStation. I'm very confused why you... Anyways, I mean, the game's the game, but you are slightly finessed now. Just a tad. Just a slight tad bit. Let's see what Harry does in the first sector. Is the split going to tell me? It's going to tell me the same thing as it has before. I want to feel like that's 7/10 slower. Is that 7/10 slower than the first sector we saw from Josh? I feel like I saw a 16.1. I can't imagine a 7/10 gap, though. I mean, I know maybe Harry's not as quick as Josh at the moment, but I don't think it's 7/10 a lap slower. 7/10 a sector slower even, not even a lap. If he actually is fastest, then he's actually the fastest, and we'll see how it goes. That's an interesting camera angle. Harry is fast. I mean, if that's true, then all the props to him. Maybe I've treated him too harshly on this lap. Second sector is a purple again, and that looks like an actual purple type. Maybe Harry's about to pull off an absolute blinder. And maybe we're nowhere near the peak of times we're expecting, one of the two. But let's give the props to Harry, as he's currently on his way around the lap. And he's going to set an 8.3. It was looking good. The sectors, to be honest, after the first one, didn't look too bad. I'm not sure where the mistakes were, but I'm intrigued to see where else the times went. Is that Dylan starting a lap? I'm not sure if he started or just finished one, but either way, he's invalidated whatever he's done. Sure is. So far, 6 on the boards at the moment. Semi-tight between the top 5. Only half a second covering the top 4, sorry. Half a second covering the 4 of them. Ebot, welcome in, by the way. Tuesday's going great for us. We've got some nice, good action on the road. We're having a good time. I hope you're also enjoying the vibes. Ice coming over to start a lap. I think they must have invalidated one of their runs as well. Josh following on just behind. Improves ever so slightly to a 7.788. puts just about almost a 10th between them and Dylan. So if that one gets improved on, it gets a little closer. But yeah, Evo, I'm doing good. Hope you're doing great, by the way. Lovely to see you again in the streams. That is a couple tenths quicker at the moment. It's not too bad. Can I switch? I mean, no, I don't know what it's going to do if your other car is the problem. I don't really think it's worth. I don't want to take the risk of finding out what happens if that car stays in as a ghost and then is just in the way of things and there's a second. I'm gonna say no. I don't want to risk seeing what actually ends up happening. I'd rather just not take that risk and find out what's going on. I don't know. I don't know what will happen. So I'm saying no. That is a quick middle sector so far. I'll look into seeing if that's allowed in the future, to be honest. I hope it's not a common thing, but maybe if it works out. I guess, like, if you set a time, definitely would have been a no. Is I just going to set a time that's going to go to the top? It's going to be close. It's another one that looks very close, and it's an 8-1. I don't know where the pull time's going to settle into. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're already at the peak and we're just finding small gains. Is everyone going to slowly close in on that time? I have no clue. Ethan's on the way around to setting his time too. Couple tenths down. I said he can switch, but no more laps. I mean, no, I don't want to just take the risk of seeing what happens with the other car. I don't want to see the risk of seeing that one possible. I can absolutely see the other car, even if it's ghosted or whatever, making something happen or messing something up, and then boom, like, that's gonna end up taking the blame. So I know it's probably worse for him, but like, I didn't tell him to go with a PlayStation. That wasn't what I asked him to do. It's fine, it's fine. Evo with a 10 streak. We love that, we love that. Thank you very much for hopping in, we love it. You have been locking in. Absolutely locked at all times. We love it for you, thank you, Evo. Wait, what did you do? What did you do, Harry? I mean, making a mistake is fine if you mean by the lap. I mean, that happens, Game's a game. That Sector 1, though, did look scary. I want to have a little look while people are on their way around at these Sector 1 times, because they were crazy. So we've got 16.9 from Josh, 16.9, 16.7 on F1 Kids Lap. We will get on board with that shortly. But yeah, Harry's first sector was just genuinely amazingly quick. There's potential in there. I was treating him too harshly just because I assumed it was the game lying to us. That middle sector time is definitely good from F1 Kid in total. A 50.9 total for that point in the lap. I do believe cooks up way quicker than an 18.1. I have absolutely no clue if that's going to cook up a provisional pole position time. It is going to do that. It's a 7.686. We're getting quicker. It looks like we might... I mean, I don't think we're going to break out of a 7 into a 6, but if someone's holding 0.6 of a second in their back pocket, then they shouldn't be racing in this league. They're too quick. We'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued how this is developing. Val's on the way around. He's invalidated his lap as well. I think Satara's just set that 10.7. I do believe. And Kieran is about to prep to go on their next flying run. 7 minutes left. Plenty of time for anyone to improve and do their business on the track. Buy and challenge my Shitazi into this race when the student becomes a master. I mean, that's not what we want here, though. I mean, I know it might now be risky with the car. I'm hoping it's not bad. I just want it to... I'm just hoping that no major incidents happen. But, like, I can't sympathize if they cause incidents. Because I didn't tell them to go to place. I'm just hoping nothing happens. We'll just it'll be fine. And we'll see what goes down. Kieran anyway is going to open up the lap. We now know a good first sector time. It's a 17.0. That's pretty much within the realm of good. 3 tenths off the best we've seen so far, which is obviously topping the board. If that's the only gap we're going to see all throughout the lap, and the rest of it's matching the bests, that's a P4 at the time. Possibly sneaking into a P3? We'll see what we have. We had a 50.6, if I'm remembering correctly. Was it 50.9, 50.6? One of the two. By the end of the lap. Let's see what Kieran's got for this tight and twisty part of the track. Hopefully he's not taking any open lobby tips we had. We didn't have to play this open lobby race around here. So, that is an invalidation. That is an invalidation. Not ideal. Not ideal. Just a tad too wide. It's an easy mistake to work, and I assume there's a tiny bit of frustration in there, which is understandable. Small mistakes can cost you, but there's plenty of time to make another go at it, as Raul, I believe, is going to have a go on this lap. Looks like it's prepping. Prepping with a nice inside lock. I see how it is. Right. DRS going to get open. 10 laps. Why is everyone on tyres that are abused? Is everyone planning to use these soft tyres later on? Maybe. Maybe. I get it, Kieran, I get it. It happens. I mean, if everyone's not annoyed by that, as the car is just... Camera's not... What? Thank you for watching the car. I was about to say, I want to see it through turn 1. Yeah, if anyone's not annoyed by making a mistake like that, then I'd be a bit confused. At least in the league race. Rowlick's turn. No pole positions for him this season, but he's been pretty close to it, and never 17-0 once again. Not the most ideal to match everyone else's times, because it means you've got to find all the time elsewhere. You kind of want to start on a great foot of nailing your first sector, and then you've just got something to land onto. And you're good. I'm sorry, really trying to figure out my controller, didn't realize how different. I swear, I mean, I've driven... I haven't been on a PS5 controller, but at least switching between PS4 and stuff is fine for me. Yeah. I mean, fair enough, fair enough. Adaptive triggers are out there. I feel like that'd be nice. Game's the game. What's Rowley got in his back pocket? 51.6, a little bit down. A little bit down. Looked at so many setups and the wings are so different, so much variation. I like that. I am absolutely such a big fan of that, because it does mean people got to take different opportunities and risks, and it means the track racing is going to be very difficult and different to just see between them all. No one can have the same strat and go with the same stuff. Raul has put himself in 7th place, and Raul, I beg you stop rear locking. Like, every 4 seconds, this man is locking the rears. At all times. Every time. Blood, stop, man. Stop. That's a competitively close grid, though. Josh is about to come around the trap, I think, and drop an even quicker time. But they're lifting and... What is Josh done? Josh was definitely bettering his time coming towards the middle sector. What did he do at the final corner is my question, as Dylan is now attacking the racetrack for his final run. What did Josh do? Because literally, the sector split said he was up, which means he definitely was pushing. And Dylan, I believe, has messed up his run as well, and is now backed off his lap. Everyone's not having their best second or third run. They're going again. And these best tyre times, are these on? No. A lot of people did their best times on multiple laps, as you can see. 4 laps in Josh's tyre, 3 laps on F1 Kids, 3 laps on Dylan's, 3 laps on Ice's. A lot of people went on that. So we will pop it on the new ones to show that everyone but Raul is on... I'm not sure why Raul is on the 3 lapper, but everyone else is on brand new tyres pretty much and ready to go. Bar Josh, who has had to do 1 more lap after that run, was unfortunately bottled, I assume, at the end. I didn't get to see where, but fair enough. Not even turned the cooker on. GB is cooking. He set an absolutely barnstorming time of a absolutely stupendous scenes with that time. I mean, unrivaled against anyone else. Wonder what we could have done. Let's see what we could have done. Maybe in an... I don't know when. Can't be today, but maybe one day. Right. Let's see how this one goes. Also, GB, did you not... I remember last season you said, like, your bad luck around Brazil was abysmal. Like, you always said every time you came here it was bad. Does this count? I mean, technically it's not bad luck. You just can't take part. So I guess that's not bad luck. It's just... Oh, I don't know. I don't know how it works. But that's funny that, again, I think it has wrapped up at Brazil. Yeah, I remember that time. I remember that time when you said it. Right. Didn't get to see Josh's first sector split because I paid no attention to it and decided to just watch his car. So the season of WHF broke the curse and got away. Alright, good, nice. I rate that. You're all good. Qatar's wrapped up their qualifying. That's going to be a maximum of P10 for them. There's still hoops left to leave the garage. Leaving as we speak, I believe. Yep, there's Aston Martin coming out the pit lane. So he's going to have one run. There we go. English ability. We are not a child. To see what they can do. Middle sector split is a half attempt quicker, and it is a 50.9 for this point in the lap. Which means I think they're pretty much level pegging with what they need to beat, or level F1 Kids time. And I don't think Josh is going to have any more time to do anything else on the boards. He crosses and takes a 7.684. 2 thousandths of a second quicker than F1 Kids time to go provisional pole. Oh, that is a close qualifying. I am there for it. Dylan is backing off, so which means he's not doing another lap again. I'm not sure if he's bottled that lap again or what's happened, but this is going to have to be a third and final run on used tyres to see what goes down. This is a Ferrari of Ethan starting off their next lap, and I think we've got F1 Kids starting theirs too. This is going to be close. 2 thousandths of a second before F1 Kids' final run. All he's got to do is find a bit more time. Dylan has found out that listen, Dylan, your season is season 9. force everyone else to go rogue and cook. This is all you're doing. Josh has been on demon energy since last season. F1 Kid's been cooking time trial. So this is on you. Somehow. Don't know how they're doing it, but somehow. Purple sector once again for F1 Kid for the first part. He is improving again as we're seeing a Mercedes of Harry, I think, crossing the line. Don't think that was Harry, I think that was Kizza, but I'm not sure there's an improvement. I think it might all just be starting lap times. Josh is coming into the pits. I think we're going to see Rowlick starting his lap as well. And is that Pooch stopping on their lap? No, it's still on the way through. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. The times are slowly crawling. Checkered flag is out. No one else is going to be setting any more times. Josh is not expected to hold on to his top pole. Didn't realize we're in quali. Mind me spacing out here all wanted. Don't worry, it's fine. Chilling for the action. The main race will happen eventually, and then we can see even more chaos at that point. Ethan is on the way to wrap up the lap. It doesn't seem like it's going to be the best. It's an 8.137. It's P5 for him. Not too bad for the Ferraris, as F1 Kid has stolen provisional pole position with a 7.416. Are you kidding me? 7.4! 7.4! Kizzo goes across with a 9.2 to go 8th position. What in the world is going on with you lot cooking? We're 4 attempts quicker than last season. The game's the same game. Pooch goes 8th place with a 9.1. This is the same game as Harry does not improve at his time and stays P6. Ice is going to cross the line, invalidates an 8.4, which means they stay in 4th position. And I think Raul's going to be the last one to go across, but he's already slower. Jesus. Yeah, I know F1 Kid has a lot of time trial experience. I know when he sits there, but yeah. If Dylan's out here who is just saying this, then yeah, it's a proof. It's gone crazy. Let's have a look at the official times on the boards as they are shown. Provisionally, it's done. It's done. F1 Kid's pole position. 2.5 attempts poled at the end. A 7.4 is crazy. Delete some of your captures. I'll delete your captures, Xbox. That's rude to tell me that. I'm trying to waffle about the order. Josh in P2 with a 7.6. Then Dylan in 3rd place on a 7.7. Ice in 4th place. Little bit down between the top 3 and the rest, but I'm sure there could have been even more time hunted by some of those guys. Ethan in 5th, then Harry in 6th place. Then Raul, Pooch, Kizzo and Kira wrapping up the top 10. Tatara in 11th position, and obviously Bind didn't get to finish a lap. And GB with the qualifying could not set a lap. In the meantime, we can cook and continue and see what the race is going to deliver. This, Dylan, what you're experiencing now is what I experienced like when I looked back in probably like a couple seasons ago and realized like even if I wanted to come back and ever join this league specifically, I can't compete in my own league. Me retiring, we're done. We're absolutely done. I'm good sitting here on my pace. It's good. It's a good day. Woo, got my first podium in Edsel here. I want to refill like podium sits and stuff. I want to see if everyone here has had a podium on the grid, like almost everyone, and how many have had race wins. In the meantime, probably going to need this. Almost definitely gonna need exactly that. We'll see how it goes. Right, let's reel off some stats, and probably more importantly, reel off some strategies, because there's no rain due, which means we're actually gonna get proper strategies at a track that can deliver a 2-stop, which never happens. If it's a 2-stop track, it's a given that rain will happen or a safety car will happen. That can still happen. There's still plenty of time for that to interrupt and mess up someone's day, but we'll see how it is. Wheel refusing to work is not ideal. I really hope you can restart that or like get it reset in time for the grid starts, because that'll be painful. Crossing fingers for you there. Might go to Horton Towers this year. I like that energy. Just might go. I might visit Horton Towers for the fun. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I've still never been. I'm not a roller coaster person. Travel sickness, not travel sickness, just motion sickness on rides and me don't go together. My stomach won't allow that to run. One day I would like to. I want to see if I've grown out of it since I was a kid. Right. Not really sure why. We are definitely going... I'm going to tell you here and now. We are definitely going to be implementing a firm hard rule where even in the formation lap, you have to actually follow the grid in the correct order. Because it's stressing me out seeing people just jump in grid. It's... Nah. Anyways, tyres. Important factor. Medium tyres for 99% of the grid except Kizzo and Ethan are on the hards. And the strategies that we've got today is Pooch talking about his fuel. Oh, I remember that. Don't worry, I was there. I was there, man. We were there. We were there. We was there on that day. Kids, no, you're not out. You just can't take part in the rest of the formation lap. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, anyways. The strategies that I'm expecting to play out are known as all of them. Medium soft is allowed, a medium soft is also allowed, and a medium hard. You can pretty much expect a huge variation of all of the things. I was still running into some issues. I'm hoping again that does... I don't know how the game is messed up that badly. If you can still rejoin later on into the game, I hope that's fine. Because that'll be okay. As long as you can get back in the race at some point, and you're still all good to hop back in. So I'm hoping that at least works. But yeah, mediums is the key, basically. If you're on a hard tire, you're fairly... I want to say fairly nailed on to trying the one-stop and only the one-stop. But it's not unopposed. You can still work a two-stop out of it if you want. Maybe someone tries a hard, soft. Maybe someone tries a hard, medium, soft. I have absolutely no clue. Honestly, there is enough options that a plan D is available. You can pull a real-life Ferrari strategy if you want to. We are thinking plan D. Plan D. Anyways, grid setting up to go. We'll deal with whenever people are going to actually pit in at some point later on. I'm expecting roughly the range of lap 13 to lap 20 is when someone could pit. If not later on the hard tyres. Let's get all 5 of the lights going on the boards. Let's let the game not actually let us go. And then a little bit after that, we are racing in Brazil. Let's see how the grid goes down on the board. That's the task AI getting through the grid. As always, the AI gets to start early, but into this first corner we go. Josh is still taking the leads, side by side between Dylan and the McLaren of Ice into the second few corners. That's before I get pinched a little bit, but Josh has taken over first position for now. Further back we go. This is so far fairly clean. Most of the cars are chilling. F1 Kid's trying to take the lead back off Josh's car. I'm not sure how much space these two are going to be giving them now. There's absolutely no stakes given. Josh yields into the middle sector as well, slowly approaching through the middle sector. I know no corner names at this track, so you're going to get absolute vibes. Did I see some contact further back behind the Ferrari? I think I saw a lockup at least. No love lost between half of the cars that are all next to each other. Raul and Nathan have a great time between each other. Game of 16 so works if I could get a re-invite. No worries, you're good, you're good. I do not mind at all. I'd rather everyone gets in the race and actually manages to hop in. We should have enough time before they get round to possibly having an overtake happen. Invite has been sent through. And we haven't missed too much, thankfully. Let's see how we go through. The leaders are so far exchanging positions again. We're watching one with Ice right now, who could easily try and sneak in and make it 3 wide. I don't know if it's in their best interest to do so. You might want to just wait until there's a more cleaner opportunity. The space being given just about. This is nice and hectic. All the cars still running and going. A little bit of a gap between, I think that's the top 9 and a few further back. And side by side for the rest of them. F1 Kid's still in the lead. I don't know who's been in the lead most at this point. There's no point me commenting on it. I think at the best point right now is just to make sure you're staying close and safe. Because since the train's still going nice and well, you don't really want to be risking getting dropped out of it. As we're seeing from now, what's that, P7? No, it's P10, yeah. P10 and further back. Risking getting a little bit attached. It's a hard tyre runner of Kizza, 1.4 down. It's not even massive, it's just a little bit bigger. And that's enough to be slowly detached, as now we're seeing positions. I think Harry's had a moment of being tagged. Not sure where, but is now sunk to the back of the grid into the secondary train at the moment. I didn't get to see exactly what happened to their car, but that's another switcheroo between those cars. This is an incredible close field. I'm loving this. Bigger grid again back today. Love to see it in NSL, of course. It's just going to set up a move. Fastest that's traded against all of them. Down the inside, a gentle send we go. A gentle send that is not being given easily from F1 Kid. He's making sure there's a little bit of car left alongside. The entire top 4 trading their way to try and take a position. And we're trying to get a 4 wide moment. We're almost sniffing it. Ice is temporarily was into the lead for a second. F1 Kid, Ice, Josh, and Dylan is the order. There's no point me telling you what the order is. They're not in a coherent order. Ice trying to take the lead in their first NSL race again up the hill. Can't take it yet. Josh sending it down the inside. They've got to be careful they don't fight too much because now they've let F1 Kid go. If he is involved in the side-by-side, it's all good. Do your business. See what you can do. But otherwise, it's hard. It's hard to balance how much risk you could take as Raul, I think, has made a bit of contact with, I think it was F1 Kid actually, the contact. Not F1 Kid, sorry, Ethan. I heard a tap with. I thought it was with Dylan. It was not that way round. 8 tenths of a second gap. That's all that can happen. 2 milliseconds of fighting without the leader in it. Free time that you gained. And that's, even though that's not much and you still got slipstream to bring that one back, That's enough to just give us a bit of breathing room. Something else can happen now. Hard tire of Ethan. Can he send it back down the inside? He's playing a little bit of a long game, just at least for this lap. He might still see an opportunity and have to take it later on. Position change, anyone? Anyone feel like seeing the fact that 6 positions gained from GB is monumentally huge from him? Impressive work as the leader's changing again at the front. It's now Josh is back up ahead. Goes a bit wide whilst doing so. I wonder if we got a warning there. But 6 position gain for GB, 2 up for Raul, 1 up for Ice and Josh, but those are changing so often there's no point reading into that. 1 up for Bayern, and unfortunately 6 down for Harry as he had a moment, and Tatar, who wasn't at the car at the start, so no fault of their own for being back there. No clue what exactly happened with Harry's incident. I believe something may have happened with him and Pooch, but we'll see later on. The stewards will see later on if that was actually anything major. Anything too bad. But that's an interesting run. It's all switching up out here. Josh is back in the lead and didn't let anyone get away too tough at the start. The front 6 is... That's the front 7, to be honest. It's not as close as it was before. They're all close, but they was like on top of each other. Close. 2 laps ago. It's starting to spread out just a tad. Although F1 Kid might get bored and go for a move here. As Kieran gets the first track limit penalties of the day. We still might see a few other people getting close to that. Rowling setting the fastest lap of the race. I don't know who to call who's going to have the win today. I don't know what strategy anyone's going on. That's when I can possibly start thinking about who can actually get there. As ISRC has deployed a lot of battery as into the lead. Again, F1 Kid goes. Battery check, we've got 81% of the front, 70 for second place. ISO, as we saw, has been deploying to keep with this train. And he's going to have to hope the DRS makes sure... Oh, Josh is having a little look and F1 Kid left his face. That is the perfect scenario when you have a little look down the inside. If you know you're not going to make the move, as Biners, I'm going to assume cut the corner inadvertently, because if they get a 5-second, that's a fairly massive corner cut. I'm going to assume they're still struggling to keep in touch with the car on that PlayStation 5 controller, which is new to them, I'm guessing. But yeah, what was my point? If you just send a little move like that, even though you're not going to pull it off, and you make the first in the head think about it, that's game changer for mental game. You now have them in your heads. And you make them lose a heap of time just for a brief second. If they keep the door closed, you know, either they got a risk that you're not going to hit them, or that if you actually go for it, it's not going to be too big of a contact. There's a lot of game mental that can go on there, which is quite fun to see. And these two, I think, have had enough of it with each other that it's not going to be too bad to take involved with. Dylan is still sat behind Ice. I think they're going to have to start getting past Ice, as Dylan is having a look down the inside, sending it at the end of the first sector. Tight squeeze for the McLaren, but he's just got the move done. That McLaren with a low battery has got a lot to work with now, and anyone else behind, if they want to keep in touch with the front two, can't afford to sit behind unless the McLaren gets back on normal pace and gets the battery back in the car, and then it can all go again. Long race to go. Only 6 laps left in. The Ferrari is just chilling at the back of the train. Somehow, I mean, to be fair, Ethan's keeping massive touch, even with his hard compound tyres. Surprised the Ferrari didn't think let GB through just so he can get a bit more pressure on Raul's car and make anything else happen. But no, they seem to be happy in the order they're in. No difference in pace too much right now, so all the props to them. Keep it going. Have a sleepy papaya cat. I mean, that's the best news we've had all day. That's the best positive news we've had all day. We'll take it. Cats, we've been talking about cats far too much in like the last week, I think. We love cats. Is that a move getting sent down the inside? It is indeed. I saw that gap just getting a bit close and I thought, maybe I don't have to look. Maybe it's actually going to stay the same order as it was before. But it's not. It's not done that. And they're going again. F1 Kid is once again going to take the lead into the end of the first sector. And that's switched up all over again. And Ice, it's not Ice overtaking with Dylan. Dylan's overtaking Josh. I thought that was the other way around with the 2 cars behind. Dylan's had enough of being third position, sorry. Take second place. He's realised he's had to step up his game after a little bit out. And has said, you know what? How about that? How about that for a position? Let's go set off an F1 Kid myself. Is that enough for watching these two leapfrog this entire way around? Oh, this is a fun little train at the front. I'm hoping this sticks together. Little bit of a gap is really forming now. 5 and a bit seconds between Pooch and Jibu. We haven't had too much of a look here. Harry had some nice pace as well, as we saw in quali. It's probably upset he hasn't been able to use it much. He's been dropped back here with an incident which I believe he thinks is no fault of his own with the car ahead that he had. And has done well to catch back up with them, but now has got to work their way through with that 6-second gap. Might have to take some risks for strategy to get back anywhere near the top 7, but I think probably is deserving of a bit better showing of pace at least. I'm not sure about results-wise, because You got to show that for an entire race to deserve those ones. Pooch is dispatched off into P8. Harry goes. He's going to try and gain his way through. Ice is now dropped to position behind. Dylan is overtaken into the lead of the race. Their positions are all switched up now. Dylan's into P1, a familiar sight. F1 Kid in second. Josh in third. It's an NSL champion. 1, 2, and 3 at the moment. This is a not bad sight to see. We will be there. We will be there for stats like that. I wanted to read some other stats in this race if I needed time to like fill in gaps. We haven't had any time to waffle about anything but what's on my screen. But yeah, Icy is slowly dropping through. Even against the hard tyre runner of Ethan's car, so GB might be trying to eye up that position in a little bit. As Ice is struggling a little bit on the exit there at the corner with the tyres. Not ideal. F1 Kid's got the position halfway up the hill. How early was that? Did Dylan have a moment up the hill, I reckon? That has to be traction related. I can't imagine he lost it on straight line speed already, because look, they're already going back at him, and F1 Kid didn't even have DRS. So he must have already been ahead before the detection point, let alone anywhere else. Not sure where that mistake was there, maybe just coming out of the tight S's for the middle sector. Josh in the lead now. This is, I think, so we've had Ice, Josh, Dylan, F1 Kid. I'm not sure if anyone else has made it into lead, but I think that's 4 different cars that have visited first place as Ice is now battling with the car. Satara's retired. Is that in the pits? It's not. It's coming out of the first few corners. That's our first retiree. That's not ideal to see, unfortunate. And that brings out a safety car, and that switches everyone else up. Lowest speed did, I think I have a feeling of what type of DNF it is, because I think I've had a similar incident myself like that. It's the jarring, again, it's one of the most jarring ones. Don't be too hard on yourself. That first sector is annoying. The first few corners can just do that. I've been there. I've been there. It's pain. It's pain. Now, it doesn't reset the grid, though. It is very, very, very easy. Not easy, sorry. Nice, sorry, for that second splinter behind Harry and Nico, who can now finally catch back up. Full safety car as well. Now, from this point on, I think you can do a one-stop, but you're going to be on some very old hard tyres. And I'm assuming a couple of people are taking a risk. We're peeing cars racing into the pit stops. Who is not going to go into the pits? Rear locking from, you guessed it, Rowlick, as always. Into the pits he goes. He stays under the speed limit. Everyone who has gone through the pit, on the grid, sorry, is in the pit lane. I don't think anyone's missing an opportunity to take this early stop. Now, the hard tyre runners now are, albeit fully confirmed, they have to now switch on to a 2-stop. I don't think you can even attempt a 1-stop from here. You are a 2-stop no matter what. Everyone else, though, has still got a couple options open to them. I'm going to let them all come out of the pits first before I make calls, as some people are having to stack between their teammates and have a little bit of waiting time. And I think Bine's even got to clear his 5-second corner cut penalty. I didn't realize you could clear the 5-second corner cut, but he has done. Now, Rowlick, more like rear lock. Honestly, he might as well change his name to that. As, okay. Okay, sweet Jesus. Oh, we've got a 5-second penalty in game for severe collision between F1 Kid and Josh. Has a moment leaving the pit lane happened? Has an accidental concertina effect happened catching the safety car? Because F1 Kid, after doing all of this hard work alongside the rest fighting for the lead, now has a left end plate missing, fresh out of the pits, and a 5-second penalty to their name. And the problem is, I'm pretty certain that's going to have to just get served, because I feel like, especially now, if they're going to hop into the pits, there's no way that's coming back. That's pain. I'm not sure what exactly happened, if it was a justified pen, if it was some people messing around behind the safety car in terms of onset. I have no clue, but I'll have to take it on face value. There's a penalty coming F1 Kid's way, and in-game is as in, and we'll see if he's going to pit immediately to take this one. Get himself a brand new front wing and obviously serve that, and looks like he is going to do exactly that. Changes the face of the game a bit. We'll see how it is. How's the wife? I'll let you know when I have one, Finn. I'll let you know. I said how's the wife. How's the kids, lads? How's the kids? Kids are good. Kids are good. Right, so he's into the pits again. We'll see what strategy he opts to switch onto. As now he's got a free opportunity to do a 2-stop. Yeah, unfortunately he's going to have to sit with that penalty, which is not ideal. As he served it, but I have no clue if it's justified or not. I tend to try and have some sympathy, assuming it's not, but I have to sometimes assume it actually is legit. Let me give it a rundown. We pitted on what, lap 9? Lap 10? I have no clue what's going to run from those movements. But from here on a hard tyre, you can do the end of the race, I reckon. It might be tricky and you're going to have some very worn hard tyres, but you probably can. So Dylan, Ice, Harry, and Bine, who are, I'm not sure what's happening between these two position-wise. I think someone might have had a spin or something. But, oh, it looks like I think he might have stolen position on thingy, so it looks like he's trying to get out of the way. Nice of him. But yeah, those cars can try and go to the end. The other people on mediums, pretty much everyone was already on a medium. Some of them have done their mandated stop, some of them haven't. But regardless, if you're on a medium, you're eyeing up a second stop. Josh, for example, is on a second medium tyre. He's had to make his first stop a tiny bit early. But we'll probably keep those going for a little longer. Has the option of using a hard tyre at the end if he wants to pit early. But medium tyres expect to come in again maybe around the 25, 26 mark. Could be on another set of softs. But there's an ever stink coming. Half of the grid is on half of the different strategies, and they're all mixed intertwined with each other. Not bad. Nova, welcome in. I hope you're doing great. Good to see you as always back in the stream. How's your evening been? Hope everything's been good. As we're waiting for Josh to eventually set off and go on this restart, and it is now. He's got him a nice self-jump. All ready for the rest of the grids. Green flag running. And that looks like Ethan trying to set up a move almost at the start. Dylan almost setting a move as well as Ice hits the back of Raul into the first few corners. Misjudges his braking slightly. We'll get back onto that in a little bit, but that's going to be some contact again with Ethan and Dylan now. Catching him at the wrong point into the corner. Can't make any moves done. He's just caught him at the wrong time. Catching cars at the wrong time, as I said earlier in lobbies, is pain. But sometimes you just gotta hold your hand up and say you gotta not misjudge it even. Gotta know sometimes it's not gonna work out. We'll see how it goes down. Now, obviously Dylan's gonna be the slower car on pure tyre strategy. And Ethan's gonna want to get a move on as he's, I think... Well, he's on a 2-stop as well, but he's just on an alternate one. He might go hard, medium, soft. Maybe he's gonna go hard, medium, medium. He's got a bit more of an open idea of which one he can do, but he will obviously want to get a move on as he's got one more stop to do at some point. Raul's also managed to get himself ahead of Dylan as he's slowly being pushed off by a couple cars. That is a Bine spin and a Dylan, not a Dylan, and a Pooch moment. Have these two made contact? Is W Bine going to turn to an L Bine? That is an M plate, I think, missing, and that is another safety car on the track after only a couple laps. That gives anyone else a free opportunity to have another try at the strategies as I suspected with some of the front wing missing. Speeding into the pit lane as well. Gonna fix that one. Can't save that. I'm wondering what happened. I'm guessing Bine had a moment and it was an unavoidable moment in terms of Pooch being around. I'm not too sure. But that's Pooch out of the race. No points for them on this day. Aston Martin would have needed them one of those ones. Ice into the pits. So we also got Kieran waiting a little bit for their teammate Kizzo and Bine himself in. And then that bombshell is a call for 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. That's not the way we want to see you go, man. That's not the way. That's not the way. Missed one of my best overtakes. There's a lot going down. There's a lot going down. I'm not sure where to look. There's a lot. I'm trying to keep tabs of everything that's going down. I'm trying, I promise, because there's a lot of action I want to try and get shown on the stream for the people, of course. Right, so both McLarens out near the back. This does change a few other people. It's given some more opportunities for going to the end. But we'll see. I don't know why I left Dylan room turn 1, but enjoyed a montage clip. Oh, don't you worry. I feel like there's some intro clips in this race alone. There might be a couple opportunities in there. I'm not sure which one we're going to use. But we move. Thanks for the season, fellas. See you. Listen, Pooch, you're going to have to be there, man. You're going to have to be there. I really want to see what actually happened now. Pooch, legendary, man. You never got the win. Never got the win. The GOAT never got there. Or podium. We're there soon. We're there soon. Right. Sit rep if possible. Is there a possible sit rep? I mean, the leaders... I don't know if it's ever preferable if you're on a 2-stop to have some time under a safety car in midway through your next stint. Because obviously these guys, I think like the ideal thing, if you're on a 2-stop, you want to have maximum pace. The reason you're doing it is because you can afford to push flat out on all your tyres, pretty much. That's the aim, really. So I don't think they want less time actually not being full throttle, because that means there's less time for them to make any advantage on it. And it also means there's less advantage they get over anyone on a 1-stop. So any of these hard tyre runners, they don't have to work as hard. I feel like, especially for anyone who pitted early, Dylan and Harry and co. To be fair, even if people who pitted early, they're still a couple laps earlier than expected, but they'll be fine. Yeah, I think this plays more into the hands of a one-stop. Less time to actually pull away and get a gap to hopefully work with, less to work with by the end of the race. Not ideal, but it mixes stuff up. I'm not sure which one was quicker. I mean, as I said, the race strategies, there was no real quick option. Every option was as quick as everyone else, give or take a second or so, and that can easily be made up by someone just being quicker or whatever. I have no idea. W season mid-cookery. Mid-cookery is... I don't know. We will be there. Listen. Spa, turn 1, lap 1. We was there. We'll always remember that moment. Safety car is in this lap. Late call, I think. Unless that's just how late it always does it. But we'll see. Let's see what the rest of them do. F124 will be there. I can't wait for Season 11, to be fair, honestly. New game, new handling, new everything. I want to see if it knocks off anyone off the old guard at the top. And any new challenges come through. Or any new challenges, old challenges, sorry, get worse. Like, that's always a thing that can happen. And there we go. Restarting off the grids. Never a good start from Josh, and I think even might be in trouble here. Rallick is having a look. Aggressive sends down the inside, has a tiny little tap. But can't get the move completed and done. And that's going to lose them some time to Josh. That is perfect. Rallick has pretty much just immediately given Josh a solid 0.8 of a second gap. By just instinctively just sending it on the teammate. Gonna have it never go down the inside again. This is hard racing, but it's good stuff. Raul does get the move done. Into P2, it's an Alpha Tauri 1-2. Further back, we've got Dylan still keeping touch with the rest of the cars. He wants to just make sure no more medium tire runners get past him. And he can keep pace before these cars eventually lose out on their tires. While they've got the tire life in them, it's obviously harder for these guys to keep up, but in the meantime, it should be fine, as that's a 1.4 second gap. Yeah, that's worked out, if not perfectly. But, like, that is absolutely perfect. Raul immediately just doing Raul things and sending it, as he always does on the cars. And helping his teammate get a monumental gap. After being so close with strategies, at least at the start of the race, it's now allowing one strategy to possibly get a good advantage. We'll see. I mean, if Raul's case is probably not first, it's his teammate. Because he was off an outrageous yawn midway for that lap. That is not what we want to see. I apologize, chat. I hate yawning mid-commentary. I was cooking up some sentences. Apparently, no. I'm not allowed to do that. 1.6 second gap between the rest. Problem is as well, if anyone else wants to try and make a dent on that 1.6, they can't. I mean, Ethan can if he can get past, but anyone else can't because they're all behind Dylan waiting to go. In which case, we'll leave them for a little bit as there's some side-by-side action between Byron and Kizzo. For the last point spot and the second to last point spot. El yawn. It ain't it, man. I don't know what my human body's trying to do to me, man. It's trying to ruin me, take me off the vibes, take me off the energy. Rude stuff. Crazy business. Let's check that for the rest of the group. Right, we've got some time as the others are starting to string away from, well, the leader is starting to string away from the others. Let's just say it that way around. Ice is regained a little bit into 7th position. F1 Kid obviously also had damage. Is down here. Two people looking pretty quick at the start. Let's see how they can regain through the grid as they are firmly on aggressive two-stop strategies now. Not sure which one of them is going to cook a move. He's got a little bit of a gap between GB and Dylan. That might make him safe from the rest. I'm trying to see if anyone's eyeing up a move, but no. Gaps are just a tad too big. Darius is obviously going to get re-enabled now as Kizzo's into the pits. Off his hard compound tire that he not started the race on, but came in from the first stop, I believe. An interesting start. We'll see what obviously pays off on that one. I really don't know what's going to go down. This is obviously like what I want with the two-stop. I just can't read it because of how much is going down. There's too many combinations at once. Well, I'm getting another track limit penalty, which is obviously not what you want to see. Does that make 3 cars? What is going on? Human body is yawning on command. I'm not trying to yawn. The annoying thing is just because my yawn means my eyes water like a waterfall. I just want to see. I want to see out of my eyes. I don't know. It's not the racing. It definitely ain't the racing. So I have no reason or rhyme for it. No clue. Anyways. Race. Can I settle into it now before my body does anything crazy? I think I'm going to settle into an overtake possibly happening here. Look at that trade. It used to involve the leader. It doesn't anymore as a 2.7 second gap has been pulled. I can't imagine that's purely Raul trying to hold up for his teammate even. I have to just assume that's pace. I mean, sometimes we've had this. Raul has kept up with the leaders, and then sometimes Raul has just being a 10 for 2 a lap off it, and then that can build up pretty quickly. And then this sort of thing happens. He's either going to defend the inside on this one, he is not. Raul doesn't want to make a move sent just yet. I heard a rear lock slightly there, at least on the engine though. I don't know if that actually happened on his car. Dylan's still nicely keeping in touch, at least with here. Leader gap wise, it's going to be down to what, 4 seconds or so, 3.2. We'll have leader gap for a little bit, just so you can see the solid field spread. Pit stop time loss, if we ever get one in the green flag running, is around 19 seconds, so we'll see if that one actually does get to play out and where someone will come out if they do end up pitting, and if there's going to be a little undercut race between some cars. No clue if that will happen at some point, but we'll find out. Have another look at F1 Kids. See if he sets off. Ethan has pulled away a nice amount to Raul. He's got about 7 temps on him. Not out of DRS range, but through the middle sector to pull that time. I wonder if Raul has damage as well as just maybe not on the full pace. He wasn't on full pace in the quali, which is understandable. Like, that can happen. As now we're seeing Dylan having a look down the inside as JB has a little rear moment and it almost takes Dylan with him. Oh, that was close. That was very close. Dylan could have been in a spin there, as F1 Kid is now going to try and send a move. Not the why it's trying to show me the rear camera. Down the inside he goes, takes an opportunity in to go in P5. This is nice and close here. But yeah, the gap is being made. See what Ethan can do in this middle sector. If he can wrap himself a little bit of a second gap, which would be ideal, then he can obviously just focus on his laps and keep that gap minimal between him and Josh. We'll find out. 6, 7 attempts so far for this middle sector. It's not been too bad. It looks like right now that Raul's the one on the hard tyre, like on the start of a race, and everyone else is on a medium. That's what it looks like. But that's not the case. I mean, obviously now the mediums are probably equal-ish pace with a hard tyre. Oh, they're getting closer to that. But like, regardless, I still don't expect it to look like this. It's a different scenario. It's a different one. Let's get on board with Dylan, see if he wants to set himself up on a move. Has he got the straight line speed? I feel if he has more battery at the very least. But Ethan doesn't have any DRS to protect him. So Dylan might not be able to make a move as Raul's going to try and make one of his own. Oh, and Raul's touched his rear right corner. I know on the new rulings, maybe when they come through, that might end up not being nothing. But I'm not going to lie, that was a bit rogue from Raul in this season. Leaves his nose in just a bit too much. Dylan does make himself go into P2. I feel like Ethan's probably going to have a fair ask on that with the stewards, just to see what goes on, as Bine has retired. Off the track, but not giving a safety car on VSC. We've had 2 already. Nothing being called there. Yeah, that one was close. That one was close. There wasn't really any overlap bar the front wheel. It was just a little front wheel being left along there, but... I want to say that can probably get left under just the racings that move on, but just because of the position being gained... The stewards will have a look, we'll see. But that's my 2 cents. Quickly on the note. We'll find out if that's actually true or if there's anything to it later on when stewards obviously have a proper look. If anyone does even send it in, I have absolutely no clue. Up the pit straight we go, and never 7 tenths of a second gap, this time with Dylan being the car ahead. Now this actually might be the best call in terms of getting away from Raul if they can. I mean, Ethan tried it, but at the same time means you've just got to be purely on your own pace, whereas Dylan might have that. 1, probably has a tiny bit extra pace on his hand, but 2 is on a better tyre probably by this stage. So he's got a couple more advantages on his side, but still is trying to break the toe just to be sure. And F1 is trying to break his way into the top 4 of the race. And does himself a nice position, and into the 4th position he goes, back in the way of getting sort of into the lead battle of this race. It's going to need a little bit more work from here. He's not too far away from the leader. He's got, what, 4 seconds away I think that leader gap is now? 4.3 from him. It's not massive. It's big, but it's not massive gaps to the leader. Like, you can work with that. For Josh, it's ideal. But, like, you can still work with that with some undercut range. If something VSC happens, obviously, then all the opportunities come all up. And if it's a safety car, then rewrite the books. Anything goes down. But it's not out of the question that 3 seconds to 4 is full control. Like, I feel like that's still opportunities for someone else to make something work. We'll find out. 8 tenths of a second up the straight now. Raul is getting bigger gaps. Last time it was around 6 tenths, 7 tenths here. It's now a 10th or 2 more. Evening to you, Retro. Welcome into the stream. I will get a drink as I can before someone sends it from 65 car lengths. Gotta get that in. Ethan's getting himself a penalty of track limits. That... Oh. Okay. Now, I do believe I'm gonna see a ticket for that one. Because I know those two drivers and I know they want to be sending tickets for that one. That's not gonna go down well in the camp of both of these cars. I'd love to quickly look back at that and see. In fact, I'm gonna clip it. I want to have a look on the stream and have a look and find out. Because that one's... Was Raul already making his defensive move committed from the start? Was that too late? I think that's going to be the argument that F1 Kid will bring down. It looks like he was consistently doing it. It's not like it's a second move. It's just, was that extremely late when the car is up the gearbox of the other? In the meantime, one more go at it one more time. Dylan's almost starting to close in on the gap to Josh. A tenth or so gained on the last sector, at least that I've watched. As if that actually keeps going down that way, or if it's just going to hold for a little bit. Josh has got no pressure, which means he can focus on his own races. That is even into the pits. Off his tyre of the mediums, which means he must be going on a hard... I mean, no. It's a medium, I forget. Even was on a hard tyre at the start, he can afford to do a medium hard. I can run those to the end of the race, and with it, that's more than doable. That could be a nice alternate game in the two-stop game, as he's going to be one of the few who's actually trying a two-stop with the hard tyre involved. I don't mind that as an idea. I don't mind it. He's going to be cutting close with Kieran, I think, to see who gets in the lead between these two. It looks like Kieran's just going to take that position. Nice little bit of respite here. I get to breathe as there's only two cars close together, not the entire grid. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll see what Ethan can do. Gap between him and the front, 24 seconds. Leave the leader gap on. I want to see how much inroads he can make as he gets himself quite quickly past Kieran and can get himself 12 seconds of clean air to work in. That's on his side, very beautiful. On the leader's side, if he ends up becoming a threat later on, it's abysmal. But we'll find out if he does end up needing to be a threat, and the others are going to have to get worried about that later on. That's also Kizza coming out the pits onto some mediums. I think he had the same strategy, so he can now do the same. Sit onto the ends, push as much as he likes, more or less. No stress, really. You can afford to just do your business and vibe. As the mediums, as I said, if they want to do a medium soft, you was dragging him to lap 20 anyways. From the start. So 13 laps is... or 12 laps for Kizzo is a breeze. Should be A-okay. 3.7 now. Dylan's still dropping a couple temps overall to Josh's pace on those medium tyres, even though he's on the hard tyre. Again, though, I'm expecting Dylan to try to go to the end of the race from here. I'm not sure how well those hard tyres will be handling, but I assume if he could get out of jail clause and say, give me a cheap stop so I can at least have a fresher tyre at the end, he'd take it. But in the meantime... he's doing perfectly what he needs to do. No one who else behind on a two-stop is ahead of him. The only one person is, and he's keeping the time loss minimal between him and that car. Perfect scenarios for him. And Raul, to be fair, it looks like he's stabilised a little bit, not letting the gap get too much bigger between him and any cars ahead, so that's not too bad. Someone else, sorry, now I can actually catch up with the chat. Someone else sent 42 new messages on Discord within 2 hours, and every time being sent a new message to confirm or not. Yeah, I guess it's put you on just like some list or something, like just to feel like, okay, you. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand Discord logistics. F1 Kid does make his way ahead of Raul into P3. Can possibly try and set himself on Dylan's car if that's his aim for now. I assume it's his aim. Get highest position possible. Mouth trying to work would be useful if it did. BRB, by the way, to yourself, Ebot. Thank you for stopping in for a little bit. Shin's in before I'm back. Hope everyone has a good one. Hopefully not, so we can see you in a little bit. But if it does. Thank you for stopping in. Hope the meetings go well and smoothly, of course. Thank you as always. Legendary stuff. I appreciate every single one of you who stopped in the streams. Especially even for these ones where I'm waffling, doing semi-serious commentary. And all the rest. It's never goes unappreciated. Makes me feel good every time. I love doing what I do. It's great. Thank you all. Thank you all. Back to waffle? Back to waffle. 4-second gap now between Dylan and the front. As now... I feel like F1 Kid's still got pace in there to burn. Is he going to want to use that? And get out. I'm wondering, actually, is any of the medium runners going to attempt to stay out until one stop? Is any of the medium runners being on the other two tyres? No. Okay, so anyone who's on a medium is due to pit again regardless. I was wondering if they could maybe drag the medium to the end, as there goes F1 Kid ahead of Dylan. And there goes Raul to pull the trigger on the two-stop runners. I think we're about to see a red wall soft tyre onto the cars now. Now, as I said, he was about, what, 4 seconds away from the leader? How much can he work as an undercut away from the front? 4 seconds, that's roughly going to put him on about Ethan's... Well, I was going to say where Ethan was, but Ethan's gained so much time that he's now only 20 seconds away. I think he's going to be roughly, what, 24, 25 seconds off once the time equalizes, if my maths is right. We'll find out. So my brain's saying So we'll see what he can do. 24.4, exactly what I was expecting to see. Now, as we're seeing as well, Ethan is... The leaders are going to have to start thinking about pit stops. Like, they're going to have to start thinking about them soon. I assume they're going to obviously want to get as much tyre life out of these meetings as possible so they can get the best soft tyre life. But Ethan is well within, like, I'm about to overtake half the cars at the front range once you've pitted. Well, you're overtaking pretty much all of them if they pit, bar Josh, and you are on the brink of doing it. And no surprise there, Josh, with Raul pitting, and I assume seeing Ethan close, has had to think about it. Put his losses, and he's going to go in. Obviously, it's a medium time versus a soft. Those softs will eventually start to get old and feel a bit rough. But so the mediums might eventually come back into their own later on. I think you can get at least 15 odd laps out of the softs. You can, yeah. I don't know if you want to, though. I just feel like you want to... Obviously, you can, but you want to make sure they're as fresh as you can for most of the time. Josh is going to come out. Look how close that was going to be. That weren't going to be far off. He left that one lap more. Ethan was ahead. 100%. He was closing at a rapid rate of knots. Doesn't have anyone else around him, though, to battle in terms of any two-stop runners. Ethan is a couple seconds back. We'll go into interval gap now. Raul is 3.5 away from those, and GB is also into the pits. Same with Kieran, is onto his soft tyres too. Ice, one more that might not be pitting, as he's gone onto a hard tyre under the last safety car and victim damage. Probably go to the end on that one to try and struggle, to steal some extra points back. Struggling extra points isn't the freezing you want, as there goes Josh down the inside of Harry. Just look at the end 100% with the soft. That's what I like to see. Not because I don't want to see anyone suffer, I just want to see some close racing in action. It's a great time. Josh's game is, can he catch... Well, also, F1 Kid did this before at Kota, I think. He had an opportunity to copy everyone else's strats and opted to just sit on his long strategy. He has to pit. He's only been on mediums. He definitely needs to pit. Is this worth getting the delta, or are you just going to lose so much time here? But he's trying his best to try and get himself well back into the lead battle, or maybe goal hanging for a safety car shot VSC. But he really should have pitted by now. Dylan is the one I'm mainly looking for as the target, as Aldo is kind of getting held up maybe by F1 Kid. That's what these cars are fighting to catch. Can you keep your tyres in good shape and catch Dylan's car, who's also going to be on extremely old hard tyres, and pass him for the lead? We'll see. I mean, Kazoo can't go to the end. He's been... Wait, can he? Has he been on a hard tyre? Oh, I stand corrected. I stand corrected! Of course, he had damage! I forgot he had damage, so he pitted twice under the safety car. After the... Oh, this is an absolute classic. Ladies and gentlemen, I completely forgot that F1 Kid obviously pitted again when he hit Josh's car. Got a penalty and had to clear it, so he's been in an extra time. So these two are straight up just fighting for the lead. This is great. Okay, let me run you through the race thing. I'm just getting too excited now. This is out of commentary mode at this point. Josh and Co behind are going to try and catch with their soft tyre / the medium tyre of Ethan's car. If the soft tyres run out, then he's the lead battle between the catching people. And they've got to catch 10 odd seconds through either Dylan or F1 Kids, who are going to the end no matter what. The problem is they're going to the end, but they're fighting. They have got to manage their tyres somewhat, as best as possible, and minimize the time loss as there's monumentous pace coming from every car behind. For 7 laps. That's what they've got to do it for. 7 and a bit, technically. 7 and the rest of this lap. I'm not sure how stressed they are in their car, if they're wondering the game plan, but that gap is getting smaller and smaller between Josh and the rest. 8.6 to just Dylan alone. He's gained about 7/10 of a second through the middle sector, as expected. That's where any time advantage you're going to get on brand new tyres is going to really shine. I reckon these two would just love to just sit in a train and slipstream leap each other over and over again and not fight, but I don't really think they're doing that. They both definitely know that they're going to have to just be clean and nice. But that's the game. Do you either just play nice and assume I'm second, I'll fight for second, I'll keep it, and then we can both chill and hold off the rest? Or do you do this and keep switching positions every 5 seconds? Because you want to be the car ahead and let the other guy deal with the cars catching you behind. I love this. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Yeah, it's crazy. I'd work with the R16. That's the thing. Statistically, that's just the best way to go. You can never... In this scenario, none of these dons will ever listen to that. I don't care how, smart you are, you want the position more than anything. I tell a league racer to do that. It won't work. Unless you're an esports driver, you're just never doing the normal smart thing. It's not even not smart, it's just... You always try and do this thing. Anyways, I do believe, though, Dylan, as I was trying to say, but he never got past, will be the quicker between these two, if it's only looking at these two. Hard tyre will age a little bit less, obviously, and obviously has a way durable tyre life. So if Dylan can get himself away by a second, that'll at least make him have some breathing room. I think this is probably the best order these two could get in terms of protecting the 1-2 lead between the two of them. Oh, this is going to get close. We're on lap 31. This is going to be close. I'm officially going to unit. Let's go. Was you not officially going before? I thought you already confirmed it. I mean, doubly congrats. I'm glad you are definitely confirmed going. I love to see it. Beautiful news. Beautiful news for the next stage of Finn's career. Love to see it. When's the next race? Next week. Unless anything changes. Next week we're going to be racing at Qatar? I believe. Qatar, Abu Dhabi. No, let me double check my own races. It's definitely Qatar, no? I'm not messing up my own calendar. It is. No. Yes, okay. I'll stand corrected. Qatar, and then Abu Dhabi, and the next two races. Same time as always, 8 PM UK time, whatever that translates to, if it's not the UK time for yourself. Qatar, hell no. Booch said no. A firm no has gone on his board. Oh, God. By the way, the gap for these cars is getting a bit big. 5 and a bit seconds. Josh is making his soft tyres work. 4 laps in, though. I'm not saying they'll be old and they'll be slow, but they are older and they will be slower than they were 4 laps ago. 5 laps remaining to catch 4 seconds of time to the next car. 5 seconds total to the leader. Am I unique? I'm not holding 18 seconds of faith. Listen, man, just stay within chat limits, innit? Stay within it, man. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. Now I got, it's confirmed now, but it's unclear which one it's going to be. Now I got all offers through. Nice! I'm glad. I'm really happy for you, man. That's sick. I'm glad you got the preferred option that you actually wanted to do. And now we can kick off, not stress about that until you actually go to uni and stress about it then. That's beautiful, sis. Could not be happier. That's going to be a good time. Enjoy the summer while you've got the time off, I guess, and anything else you've obviously got to get planned before then. And now it's the new calendar. Qatar every race, man. And then Las Vegas finale, 100% race. That's what we're cooking. I know what's going to be in most of them. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Computer animation arts, that's going to be sick. I'm expecting to see some cooking drawings from you, man. If I don't see them shown off, then what's the point of going to uni? I'm kidding. That's huge news. I hope it honestly goes as well as you hope it will when you go as well. I love that. Good energy. It's good energy to see. Wonderful stuff. We've watched a lap take place whilst waffling, and Josh has caught a second of time in that lap. That means he's got 4 laps to catch 3 seconds. Oh, this isn't going to be close. Dylan looks like he's got enough of an edge after the DRS straights to actually keep the lead. Looks like he does enough through the corners that DRS straights aren't a risk between him and F1 Kids. And on his side, this is perfect. It's still not set that F1 Kid will stay second. I mean, if he just sees a late lunge and goes for it, then game's the game. He's going. And he's done as Ethan and Rowlick. That gap was a second. It's no longer a second. These two are obviously not going to catch near the lead. Rowell sends himself down the inside. He has to make Ethan think about it the entire at the hill. Sends it even more. And looks like he's going to clean the position. The camera will eventually show us that Ethan is still holding the inside and taking the position. Is Rowell going to try and go down the inside? He would, if it wasn't covered off. Now these two are having a massively nice battle. Again, soft tyres are eventually going to start being good. Stop being good. Did I say stop or stop? I meant stop. Anyway, they'll be less good. Every lap that Ethan keeps him behind is better for him. It will eventually play into his favour, though there's a bit of a delta gap, so it won't be as immediate that he'll be the quicker car. So it basically is it's even Stevens, and we'll see what runs down between the two of them. Raul is back ahead into P4. That's going to leapfrog for a while. I'm definitely certain the front two are going to the end. Dylan is certain to, once he put on those hard tyres, I mean, it just makes sense. He's opened the opportunity up. And F1 Kid is taking a risk at doing it and hoping his tyres exist for a little bit longer. Ethan goes again ahead of Raul. These two will keep leapfrogging as long as they can, and we'll keep watching it until a certain Joshmo gets involved, who is also another second closer than he was the last lap. He's catching the exact rate he can catch. Like, he'd love a tiny bit more. It's very on the cusp. One mistake and all of a sudden it's not close enough, but he will eventually get DRS to make it a tiny bit easier. I'd assume Maybe not on this next straight. But he will get it by the time he gets on the second set of DRS. Or technically the first, if you count the fact that it's the first on the lap. It's not. It's the second zone when anyone's watching it, but it's the first of the lap. Complicated, you know how it is. He is not within a second. That's surprising. I thought he would have had that going through there. He was a second going up the hill and he lost tenths of time. Stays away from a second. That might hamper his charge. He might not get there in time. He's going to have one lap. I'd assume he surely will get it through the middle sector. But is his soft tyres just about evening up? With 25 lap old hard and 24 lap old mediums. Ethan and Raul still doing the leapfrogging again. Ethan is now back into P4. This is going to be a monumental charge between who's going to get the the fourth position between these two, who are incredibly kind to each other on the racetrack, and I've never had any moments ever with each other and visit the steward's room several times. Raul and Ethan never would do that. And these top three, as Josh is now within DRS range. Now we see what goes down. 7/10 of a second gap for Dylan. Battery over, we've got 25%, 41, and 24. Let's get on board with Josh to see what he can do as we open up lap 36 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. So far, F1 Kid's got enough in his hands. And Dylan's got to make sure he gets a good exit because he doesn't want to be the one overtaken and be the one having to defend from Josh. He's under just as much risk as anyone else is. Any of these lot could be free wide. Coming to the turn one moment as F1 Kid is going for the lead of the race. And he's taken it. He's taken a send out of the first sector. And Josh is sat waiting in the wings to have these two. Can he afford to fight? He goes round the inside. Round the outside, I should say. Is he going to make it stick? He's trying to. These three are going to be going crazy as that's forced slightly off the roads. Squeezes him with the most room. Well, the most room he could definitely not give him. F1 Kid is just about pulled off the overtake. That might seal him the lead, and Dylan doesn't look like he's got much of a response left in his car. Now it's down to Josh on the line to see if he can take it. And is that car ahead going to go and give him DRS? I don't think it is. F1 Kid's not going to have enough left on the board, or is he? DRS is going to get opened. He's going to try and keep this on the lead. Over the line we go! And the smallest gap we've probably seen in NSL history has given Josh the win in Brazil by 16 hundredths of a second. The two-stop against the one worked by the barest of margins. Across the line with the other two we go. Raul did end up going ahead of Ethan on track. Penalties obviously change it. 16 hundredths of a second. Ain't too bad. Oh, that was close. What could have happened if it was a different order going for the first lap? I don't know, but F1 Kid took his opportunity and tried it. And it still didn't pay off. Josh did manage to catch a lot of them and gets another race win in NSL. And if I'm correct, has he caught 5 race wins in a row now? I think he has. I think he has. It was looking possibly unlikely. It looked good. He had the gap, and it almost looked unlikely near the end as if he wasn't catching as quick as he could have. But he still managed to do it. He left it to the latest moment possible. Even in his, yes, his P5. GB in 6th position with a nice Ferrari points haul. Harry in 7th. Ice in 8th place. Probably could have done a little bit better if he had a little bit cleaner running earlier on. Kieran in 9th place, and Kizzo is going to wrap the points positions up in P10. That was a race of proportions, is all I'm going to say. Jesus, that's that. The things was going down. Oh, stuff happens. I need to breathe. I need to breathe. Dylan looked like he had that on lock near the end. F1 Kid looked like he had that on lock at one point near the end. And then Josh had it on. Josh, things happen. We need to run through the results. We need to run through them. Provisionally, this is what's on the board. And because things went down, Josh has won the Brazilian Grand Prix in some crazy fashion. Ticks over 400 points, I believe, if my maths is right as well. Fastest lap of the race does also go to him. F1 Kid in 2nd place, barely up there. If there's a penalty between the two of them, then crazy things happen. But as far as that, I don't know if anything's due to happen, so we'll find out. F1 Kid 2nd. Dylan in P3 almost had it on lock, but the hard tyres could not do any more after F1 Kid setting it past. I'm surprised those mediums worked at all for F1 Kid, so fair play. Raul in 4th, Ethan in P5, GB in 6th, Harry in 7th, Ice in 8th, Kieran in 9th. Kizzo in 10th. Points for the top 10 all across the board. 3 DNS of Bain, Pooch, and Tatar unfortunately means they were the 3 that couldn't have missed out on trying to get anything else. And not too bad finish. An NSL 1-2-3 for the champions, or some previous champions. Season 10's champion in the front, obviously from this season. Season 8 in second and 9 in third. It's not too bad. That was a day. That was... Brazil cooked. Brazil cooked on strategy. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. Woo! How are we doing, chap? How are we doing? That been good? Was that fun? Because I enjoyed it. Oh, hello, Shenzi. How are you doing? See you just popping in the stream. But I can't... I'm normally used to saying hello. I can't think of any other like alternate languages to say hello in. Hi. Welcome in. I hope you're doing good tonight. This has been a stressful stream. A lot has gone down. Chat, talk to me. Talk to me. People in the race. I need thoughts. I need thoughts. What went down? Strategies are moving on. Just on 0 battery end. If I could have had some left, would have been different. I had no PC. To be honest, that was fun. I thought it's like you two were leapfrogging. It's like which one of you is going to be in the lead to battle against Josh when he get there, and then at the last lap. I still thought Josh won't catch until he was within half a second of like, maybe. And I still thought he might not do it. Just because of the gap. And then F1 Kids sent it and then everything happened. It's fine. Yeah, we said it earlier on. We thought if they traded DRS or I thought other way around if Dylan was ahead because I just assumed the hardtail would be quicker than the medium. Which he did eventually get. It would be easy, but yeah, I mean, obviously this is what happens. I don't expect any person in that scenario to want to agree to, I'll sit in second, or I'll sit behind, you're fine. But I reckon if they did, that could have changed it, but that's racing, man. That's racing, that's what goes down. Disadvantage of higher wings. I would love, again, Codage, I'd love to see different setups live. Like, I'd love to see it even where the stream can't. Like, let me see it on an alternate thing so I can see that someone is running way less wing and I know that they're going to cook in a straight line. It looks nice and balanced in all the strategies. The 1 stop worked, the 2 stops worked, alternate 2 stops almost worked. It was fun. It was a fun time. On that note, I think we've got to leave the action there. The heated great action that we've just watched in was fun. Was fun times. Let me have a look. Let's show you. Sorry, not me. I know. I run the league. Let's have a look at the calendar so we can have a little look at the action that we've got next. 2 more races to go for this long extended season to run before season 11 gets under prep and ready for the new game of F1 24. We've seen gameplay for it, so we know it's coming at some point. I mean, we know exactly when it's coming, in fact. But either way, Qatar is next. Overtaking is going to be interesting around there. We'll see how well everyone does and how well they find a way to make overtakes happen. If anyone's going to make an overtake happen, it's NSL. We'll see. And Abu Dhabi with the sprint, of course. The last round, we'll see if anyone does steal a couple of positions in the championship with the constructors, or roughly around second place, although I think it might be getting a little bit more sealed with F1 Kids second at that point. And of course, if anyone's looking on and saying, need me involved in this league, I need to be in these racing, and if you want to get an early prep, because if you sign up now, it's a lot easier process to get signed up for season 11 if you're already in. Details are on the screen, the rules that we run are on the left and the main stuff. How to join's on the right. If you're watching in the Twitch chat, !NSL in the chat, get the Discord link, click it, join in, run through the process of signing up. And it's easy enough. Questions, ask me or Josh in the Discord. Or, if you're watching on YouTube VOD, Discord link will be in the description. Same thing as always. But, I think that's it. YouTube VOD can end up there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all